The EP Podcast. Heard everywhere podcasts can be found, and always at theeppodcast.com.
And belly on up to the 9-foot homemade oak bar. Pour yourself a cold one. My name is Chris Lanuti. It's a new week in Evergreen Park, and this is the EP Podcast. 30 minutes of good for you in Evergreen Park, or those of you just outside of Evergreen Park who just want to hear something about your neighborhood. And the majority of this show is going to be from the Evergreen Park Oktoberfest this past weekend. Mayor Kelly Burke is going to be on the show. Glenn Pniewski from the village with all kinds of future events on the show. The chief of the Evergreen Park Fire Department on the show. We have not had Chief Kleinhaus on the show in a while. It was good to catch up with him. It is all brought to you by the First National Bank of Evergreen Park. Your child's bright financial future starts with learning good money habits early in life. Help them get ahead with a junior savers account from the First National Bank of Evergreen Park. With a junior savers account, kids earn interest on every dollar they deposit, and they get to watch their money grow. Show your kids how fun and rewarding saving can be and set them up for success. Learn more at bankevergreenpark.com/junior. No minimum deposit to open. No worries about minimum balances or maintenance fees until they get to 22 years old. Stop in and see those fine folks at 95th and Pulaski in that iconic building, member FDIC. The comments keep rolling in from fans of the EP Podcast, things that they love, things that they don't love, things they want more of, things they want less of when it comes to the EP Podcast. I had a lot of people come up to me at Oktoberfest. A lot of people said, thanks for doing the podcast. A couple of suggestions. Trust me, you can't hurt my feelings. Reach out with your thoughts through the eppodcast.com. You can leave me a voice message. You can shoot me a comment. You can also hit us up on social media, either publicly or slide into my DMs, as the kids would say. I have the mayor of Evergreen Park standing here with me, Kelly Burke. How are you?
I'm great, Chris.
I remember you telling me that last year's first ever Oktoberfest may have only been big because people were happy to be out of the house because of COVID, and you were nervous. And this thing looks jam-packed here today. There's a lot of people not even from Evergreen Park coming up to the tent. And when I tell them, like, oh, you can sign up for one of the podcasts, they're like, well, I'm not from Evergreen. And it's funny, but you have a lot of people coming into Evergreen just for this event.
Oh, yeah. It's really taken off this year, and we have a ton of fun stuff. And, we reworked it a little bit from last year, got some different stuff for the kids, so it's all new for everybody. I think if we're taking notes, we want to get another set of pony rides and another face paint.
Oh my God, those lines are insane.
I feel so bad for these parents.
I told my kids, like, my daughter, she's very artistic, and we do face painting sometimes at events. I'm like, we really should have done face painting at the EP Podcast time.
Oh, 100%, because it's a testament.
I don't have a pony though.
It's a testament of love that these parents will wait in line to give their kids this thrill. But the weather's worked out beautifully. It's a great crowd. We got a great DJ, same guy from Picnic in the Park, John Dresness. We got the Double Dutch ladies going right now. We've got line dancing lessons in about 20 minutes. And then the band, and then the Stein hoisting.
Stein hoisting. We got more Steins this year?
We have, I believe, 14 Steins.
Oh, that's much better than 4 last year.
Yeah.
It's going to be good, because I thought people were going to kill me last year.
Right, it's going to be there was some heavy competition, so yeah, looking forward to it.
We've got all these different things going on. You got people are happy, they're out, they're excited. How many people have walked up to you and said, when is my streak going to be done?
Actually, I had 2 thank yous today.
Yes!
Yes.
I like hearing positivity.
I was at Dunkin' Donuts this morning, and a resident on Lawndale thanked me, and then I had another compliment from somebody on Harding, because they're pretty much coming to the end of it, the folks on Harding. So, and actually some folks on Millard today said they are happy it's getting done, but they're happy that their street's looking good. And, construction is never fun, but it's needed, and it's an investment in our community.
You're looking forward to the end of it, though, right?
I cannot wait till the end of it. Hashtag we didn't lose any kids. Yeah.
Yet.
And I will say a thank you to the students and the parents and the staff at both Holy Redeemer and Southwest, because I actually walked in the construction area on Thursday, just sort of seeing how people get to and from school. And, everybody maneuvered around everything they needed to, and they were so patient. So I know everybody will be thankful it's over, but I'm really grateful that everybody kind of took it in stride.
I saw you at a couple of openings for businesses, including the Macy's. We had them on the show a couple of weeks ago when they were talking about it. That must be fun for you, because when you're bringing in new businesses and it's stuff that people are looking forward to having in the area, it must be kind of fun to go through those.
Yes, and the store itself is fantastic, both levels. The bottom level is more what you would see in a regular Macy's, but smaller. And then the second floor is kind of their off-price version, but both great selection and great staff. Several people from Evergreen who worked at other Macy's have now transferred to work in the store. And Friday was really cool because all the kind of bigwigs from Macy's corporate were there, because this is a kind of test case, having the two stores in one building for how they move forward with some other stores. So it was really a first-class operation.
That's a thing that we've heard a couple times when I talk to people who get businesses in Evergreen Park, and Macy's brought it up when they were on the EP podcast a couple weeks ago, is that because of the demographics of Evergreen Park, because of the fact that it sits just outside of Chicago, but they can still get that Chicago area that comes into it, because of the way that it's easier for them to measure, a lot of businesses like picking this location here in the EP because they can figure out, will this franchise work? Will this new concept work? And I would imagine you kind of push that now because you're seeing that as a comment from the businesses.
Well, in 100%, they have exhibited a lot of confidence in our retail environment, in our residents, not only of Evergreen Park, but the surrounding communities. And so now we have to support it, because this is something people have said they really want. They wanted, a fresher retail with more options. And so we brought it to them. So now we have to support it. And not only is it important to support, what comes in here, but other retailers are going to see what Macy's does. And if they're successful, it's going to make other people start looking twice at Evergreen. So some of the retail that people say they want, we need a track record to show these other retailers that, they'll be successful here.
Talk a little bit about this space and the other spaces in Evergreen Park, which you use a lot of. You use this community center. It's relatively new. Your predecessor, Jim Sexton, was the one that was like, we need to upgrade a community center. But we're doing so many events that are here in this section and over at the park. You're using 50 Acre Park a lot for events and things like that. I feel like it was almost like a mission of yours to make sure that you're using the things that are available to you and getting the community out to see what's been built for them.
Right, and we did, in some ways I think 50 Acre is a little bit off people's radars, and so one of the things we've tried to do is to have more events there that people will then see how beautiful it is. So we've had yoga in the park, we had the fireworks, we had some concerts there, and we've really tried to introduce some new programs at that barn, because it is such a cool amenity. But so many people say, yeah, I drive by it. What is in there? And some of it was we just didn't have as much public-facing programming there, and we're working to turn that around and get people involved. And it's obviously fantastic for kids to learn about, farming and nature, and, have animals right there, and understand, the bees make honey, and the honey sweetens things, and we do that right here. We've got the garden that feeds the village pantry. So, it's, kind of, we're helping our own community out with this, but come in and see it, and it's a great learning experience, and it's just beautiful.
Before I let you walk out of the tent here back to Oktoberfest, I got to ask you about all your walking. Where did this come from, the idea that you're going to walk around with residents? You got residents exercising. I know you're over at the library doing the .262 micro marathon.
That wasn't too hard.
But where's this coming from?
I'm a pretty active person. Regardless, I don't do too much running anymore, but I have in the past very slowly, but I've done a lot of 5Ks, things like that. I like to play tennis, I like to bike. So I'm personally active, and I just want to get more people out being active. So one of it's the National League of Cities had a thing, Move with the Mayor, and they sent it to us. And I said to our marketing person, like, could we do something with this? And so she kind of came up with the whole campaign. So funnily enough, for a town our size, we are consistently in the top. There are, I think, about 80 cities nationwide that have signed up for this, and some of them are pretty big. We are in the top 10 nationwide in number of minutes logged by our residents, saying that they have worked. So I've done some walking with people. We've done the yoga classes in public, and I think it's done. The 15th is the end of the challenge, but I will continue to keep moving with the mayor, and I hope everybody else does too.
All right, we'll move with the mayor because I want to stay in that top 10. Okay, Evergreen Park's we got to rank. I want to be on the list. I want to be on there.
There will be no dancing with the mayor, but I can move with the mayor.
Mayor Kelly Burke, thanks so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
Great party.
And thank you for coming out here and supporting our village events. Much appreciated.
This next interview here on the EP Podcast is brought to you proudly by the law offices of Parente and Norum. When you've been injured, you need a team that will do what it takes to fight for your rights. And the insurance companies really only care about one thing, their bottom line. My wife was in an accident years ago here in the EP. It took years to get to the bottom of what was owed to her, to get the insurance company to take care of the bills. I wish I would have known about the law offices of Parente and Norum back then. They got the experience, the dedication, the proven results it takes to get you the care and compensation you deserve. And they're like the Yankees. They're always winning. They have recovered over $400 million for their injured clients and their loved ones. For a free case evaluation, EP Podcast listeners can call or text them today at 312-641-5926 or visit pninjurylaw.com. I bumped into an old friend that we had not had on the show in a while. Oktoberfest was a great time to run into friends you had not seen in a little bit, especially over the summer. Take a listen. Hi, Chief Ron Kleinhaus here, the head of the Evergreen Park Fire Department. How are you?
Good. How are you, Chris?
Good to see you. I haven't talked to you in a while on this show.
No, it's been a while. It's hard to get on when you got all those trustees taking up all the airtime, but that's okay.
Some of them like to talk.
Yeah, I know. Norm's a good talker, and so is Mark. So they're fun to listen to, though.
Well, thank you. So, hey, I wanted to catch up with you here at the Oktoberfest because, you got your whole crew out here. All the firemen are out here cooking brats. They may be one of the biggest lines at the fest. Everybody wants to eat what they're cooking. Tell the listeners, let them in on the little secret that I know because I got to stay in a firehouse once or twice when my uncle was there, and you know this. Firemen love to cook, don't they?
Yeah, like an army, they run on their stomach, and we do have some really good cooks. This started, I can't remember how long ago they were doing a day in the park, but it started as a thing for the old day in the park days when they were looking for people to be food vendors, and the firemen started with the bratwurst and the corn every year, and it carried on, and now for the last 2 years it's crossed over to the Oktoberfest. It's a great day. There are a lot of people showing up. The majority of the guys and the girls that are standing underneath those two canopies are off duty. They come back in on their days off just so they can help out the community with a really good cause and do some public relations, and everybody up there is a good cook, so we're in pretty good shape.
What's the benefit? I mean, you always hear that it's a good idea for the police to get out into the community and stuff like that, and firemen, you don't really need them until your house has got smoke pouring out of it. But I mean, there must be a real good benefit to the fact they get out there and get to meet the public on their off days or at events like this.
Right. The benefit is so the people in the community can see the people that are serving them. I mean, usually when we see them, it's on one of the worst days of their lives, and it's nice to be able to interact with the community, meet the people that are coming. The guys are here, they're having a great time. The people are coming up, the community, for as long as I've been around, and I've been doing this for a little over 45 years now, have supported this fire department since it was all volunteer all the way up to where we're at now with our people on shift. We've always had a great relationship with this community, and we want to keep it going.
I think I saw something recently, if you could talk a little bit about it. We're heading into the winter months now. One of the main things that people, you want to make sure you got your carbon monoxide detectors. You want to make sure that you got, the batteries changed. Tell everybody what they should be doing this time of year.
Have your furnace checked before you turn it on the first time with somebody who knows what they're doing, hopefully a qualified serviceman. Double check the batteries and your smoke detectors, your carbon monoxide alarms. The state recently passed a law where all smoke detectors have to have the 10-year batteries in them. If you haven't gotten around to getting a 10-year battery smoke detector, make sure you check the 9 volts. What we used to do is a big push always at the time change. Spring ahead, fall back, check the battery in your smoke detector. So whenever the time change comes, if you still have battery-operated smoke detectors, it's a good time to change the battery just to be on the safe side. And test them at least once a week to make sure they're working.
Do you guys do the thing? I know that some firehouses will do it where they'll actually make sure the car seat's in the car correctly and stuff like that?
We do. We have 4 certified car seat technicians. They do it by appointment at the firehouse if they can. If it's a last-minute thing where grandma's got to get the car seat fixed to get the baby home from the hospital, we can try and get somebody. But all they have to do is call the fire department business number and make an appointment. We'll make sure somebody's there.
Evergreen Park Fire Department does a lot more than just sit around and wait for your house to catch on fire. That's for sure. And they're good cooks. You can smell it over here. You probably have some good meals when you're over there. These guys get gourmet in firehouses, don't they?
Yeah, we don't. You look at some of them. Nobody here is starving. That's for sure. But we do. We have some good cooks. They're having a ball out here today, interacting with the community. So it's a good day all the way around. The weather's been good. We got some fire pits we're hoping to light up later. I just wish this wind gust had died down a little bit, but we'll see. So a week from today is our annual open house at the fire department, next Saturday from 10 to 2. If you want to come out, we have a lot of demonstrations. They'll be cutting up a car for an auto extrication. We have Mitch Kushner from the State Fire Marshal's office is coming out with his canine dog that they use for doing arson investigations. So it's another good day, free popcorn and drinks, and we hope to see everybody there.
You guys lighting anything on fire there too?
We lit a car on fire last year. We'll see how rambunctious the guys get. If the weather's okay, we might burn a car for everybody.
They like putting out fires. They like setting them first and then putting them out too, don't they?
Yep, yeah. We prefer to put them out, but we'll light some fire pits later on if it doesn't get too crazy. But other than that, we'd prefer to just put them out. Yeah.
There you go. Chief, thanks so much for joining me.
Okay, thanks, Chris.
It's the middle of the show song. 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 Chris had nothing to put here, so he put this song. It's the middle of the show song.
Switch to a new age of life, Evergreen Park. Listen, at some point, your loved ones, you're going to need help around the home. The question's going to come up. Do I need assisted living? Have I been injured? Mom or dad, are they having a hard time getting around the house? You can now make the home into a smart home. You heard them on this show about a month ago. Hyatt Home Medical Equipment, a local business here in Evergreen Park. The amazing technological advances, anything from CPAP machines for sleep apnea, diabetes control, and then having doors open and close with the touch of an app. Technology to get you up and down the different floors in your home. The way they could set up your house, from your living room, your hallways, your bathroom, to make it accessible and to cut down on the chance of a fall in the home. It's all about staying independent and in your home. And they're going to work with your insurance company and take extra money off if you mention the EP podcast. Don't forget about that. See all they have to offer at hhme.com or stop in and see their friendly staff right here in Evergreen Park in that big, beautiful showroom at 3518 West 95th Street, right here in the EP. Hyatt Home Medical Equipment. Before we get back out to Oktoberfest, let's do your word on the street. The Evergreen Park Chamber of Commerce is having a multi-chamber meeting. That's right. Meet other folks from other chambers of commerces around the area. They're doing something with the folks from Oak Lawn this time around, and they're doing it at the American Legion, proud sponsors of the EP podcast. It's this Tuesday, October the 11th. Mayor Kelly Burke, who you heard on this show, going to be there, along with the mayor of Oak Lawn. 2 mayors, 1 place. There's going to be food. I'll be there. Stop in if you want to take a look. Get more details and tickets. They're only $20. evergreenparkchamber.org. Remember, your word on the street is brought to you this week by Mike Thauer, your country financial representative. Mike handles my auto, my home, my life, all of those insurances you need. If I have a question, he's there, like instantly. He keeps the cost down and he talks me through every question, no matter how much I think my questions are dumb. He never thinks my questions are dumb. You should talk to somebody who never thinks your questions are dumb. Give him a call at 708-425-1559 or stop in at 3923 West 95th Street in Evergreen Park. There is a barbecue beef luncheon October the 20th at 11 a.m. at the Evergreen Park Community Center, 3450 West 97th Street. Wear a Halloween costume if you want. Bingo is going to follow it, $10 a person. Purchase at the Community Center by October the 17th. The Chris Kindle Market Day Trip is coming up on December the 13th. They're already taking your reservation for $95. You go to the market from noon until about 6 o'clock in the evening. It's downtown Chicago. You get lunch at the Grand Lux Restaurant, a visit to Macy's, and the beauty of the lights on the Magnificent Mile. Deadline to sign up, though, this Thursday, October the 13th. Call now, 708-422-8776. I got to be honest with you, I've been down to that market. That is a blast. And finally, the Evergreen Park Youth Department brings back open gym basketball. 5th through 8th grade, $5 entry. It starts on October the 21st. It's going to be at Northeast Elementary School at 9058 South California with concessions available for purchase. Kids are going to have an emergency form filled out. If you have questions, 708-229-3377. Our final guest from Oktoberfest is brought to you proudly by SidSauce.net. That is the Evergreen Park-based company that grows hot peppers right here in the village, then bottles delicious hot sauces and drops them off at your door. If you like hot sauce, they have a flavor for any kind of food you can imagine, and it's a local business that you should support. See everything they have to offer. Make an order at SidSauce.net. We're back to Oktoberfest, and then after that, we'll see you coming up this Friday when head coach Jerry Verdi of the Evergreen Park Mustangs, who just won yet another game, 5-2, they win on homecoming, will be on this show for our Football Friday special. Remember, subscribe anywhere podcasts can be found, and always at the eppodcast.com. Do not miss an episode. Now back to Oktoberfest. Hanging out at Oktoberfest, and I bump into Glenn Pniewski. How are you, friend?
I'm doing well. First, I've seen you in a while, and so you're over your recent illness of no voice.
Yeah, I was a disaster. Now
the airwaves were quiet for a while.
Now I'm out here at this Oktoberfest, and I'm glad I'm well for it, man. This is going really well, and I think bigger than last year. I believe that by the time this is over, this will be bigger than last year.
Well, I think the weather has a lot to do with that, too. You know, last year it didn't get rained out, but there was a little spot of rain there during the afternoon. This is packed. We're talking here at about 4 o'clock, and it's only going to get bigger. So,
well, the thing that I notice is that people come over to the table because they're signing up for the show, or they're getting a giveaway that we're having here at our tent, and I start to get a lot of people that are like, yeah, I'm not from Evergreen Park. Like, I have the other podcasts on the network, so they're like, oh, I'll follow the Sox in the Basement show or Southside Pod. I'm not from Evergreen Park. You're pulling people that are not from Evergreen Park. That's how big it's getting, I think.
Oh, I think so. And, you know, the mayor's office has done a great job putting this together. Our recreation department, you know, been doing so much of the grunt work. So, you know, I told you long ago, the idea was to take our day in the park, which was a fun event, but at the end of June when it's 100 degrees, and just pick the whole thing up, plop it into October, and here we are. You know, it's paying its dividends already.
It's busy too. I think this, you have something for everyone. You got like the pony rides and the jumpies. There's a DJ. There's a band coming. There's food everywhere. There's tents everywhere. Everybody's doing something. It's a busy festival.
Right. If people go home tonight hungry, it's their own fault.
All right, so I got you here, not just to talk about Oktoberfest, but I know you've got things coming up. Your FantiSciFest. This is your third one, right? You did one, and then the bad times happened with the COVID. You did another one last year. This is your third one, the third annual FantiSciFest. Tell people again what this is all about, what they're going to see at it.
Well, like you said, it's our third annual one because we had the one in 2020 just before COVID hit. We were able to do one in 2021 about this time last year, so we were able to still hang out at that annual. But yeah, it's a collection of fantasy vendors. We saw we got a big comic book vendor there. He'll have a big table. Downstairs we'll have games of Dungeons and Dragons. Just come through. Frank here at the library will be there. I think you're talking about being in there too. Got some new vendors that have got a lot of fantasy D&D materials. We've got an artist coming in. So it's at the Senior Center, which is at 9547 South Holman, and that's Saturday the 15th of October from 11 to 4. Just come through. No charge to get in. It's just a fun time. Our little slogan is channel your inner nerd.
There's a lot of nerd collectibles. There's a lot of nerd collectibles at that. Like you walk through and it's like, oh, if I ever wanted like a very detailed alien from the movie Aliens, and I wanted to see what it would look like if it had bat's wings, I can buy a figurine. Like they have everything in there. Like if you're a nerd, you would love this thing.
Well, and they have, some of the people of our group, they
you should call it Nerd Fest.
Yeah, well, that's true.
You thought about that?
I like the FantiSci. Anyway, that's where all the money's gone into the advertising, So, but yeah, and then there's what you call cosplayers, which are people who dress up as a character.
People who dress up.
Yeah, and they're there all day running little, they'll be meet and greets. Hey, here's how you can get started doing this. So, listen, it doesn't appeal to everybody, but it doesn't hurt to walk through. And then the youth department will be there for a couple hours, so you can at the very least, get a hot dog and some chips.
I like this kind of event because of the cosplayers, because it's really, it is some good people watching. To watch what people dress up in. Sometimes you know what the character is. Sometimes some obscure character that was in 3 episodes of an anime series that aired 25 years ago. But I mean, it's interesting nonetheless.
Well, and then people come up with their own costumes as well. So that's on the 15th. A couple weeks later, on Friday, I want to say it's the 29th.
Okay.
Would be the Halloween parade. It's a Friday night, so correct me if I got the actual date wrong. But that'll be 5 o'clock over at the 50-acre park.
What happens at the Halloween parade? I think I missed that last year. I've been to one before, though.
They've got, it's a Halloween parade. Kids bring your costumes. Kids from EP bring your costumes. And then there's there's a pumpkin patch. You go in there, pick your pumpkin. The barn will be open, so the horses will be, the animals will be there to say hello.
Do they dress up the animals?
No, but they dress up the barn. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Yeah, I'm waiting for one of the horses to do a Mr. Ed.
Like a horse dresses as a cow, the cow dresses as a rabbit.
Well, we don't want to give them any identity crises, but but that's a fun night, and
you don't want confused cows.
Right. And then I've always said that once you hit Halloween, it's only a hop, skip, and a jump, and your feet never touch the ground. But you're looking at Christmas season. We got a couple of things.
You're one of those people that skips Thanksgiving. You're one of those people that just skips right over November, Glenn.
On the 3rd, we're going to be right back here on this parking lot for the Christmas festival, and then. Actually, the following weekend, we've got a brand new show, which I can talk about at length the next time, but an original musical called Daydreamland, the 9th, 10th, and 11th over at the Senior Center.
All right, so the thing that's on the 3rd of December, it'll be the next big festival that happens at this location, where we're at the community center, right off of the, using a little bit of Klein Park or Circle Park, whatever you call it, and that's the next big event that'll be out here December the 3rd. That's pretty quick. That's only a couple of months away, and that is, what do they call that again, the Chris Kindle Fest?
Well, no, that is our Dickens Fest.
Dickens Fest.
At the so you'll have Santa Claus. You'll have at 6 o'clock. We'd light the tree. Right on the corner there. That's always a great event.
Oh, that's when poor Bill Green has to sit there and sweat, worried that the lights don't go on.
Yeah, he sweats even though it's usually. Well, no, I'm wrong. It's not cold. The problem is we never have snow. We actually should have the Dickens Fest like in February when we first get snow. Right.
Maybe EP needs to spring for some fake snow. Maybe some fake snow machines.
I'm going to put it right down here that on Dickens Fest, December 3rd, it will be warmer than it is now here. So it's the way it has been lately, and you're having a good afternoon here, it looks like. So.
Yeah. People love coming over to the podcast tent.
There you go.
They ask for free stuff.
Yeah.
They sign up.
And sorry, our baseball teams didn't wind up the way we had hoped that they would. But
I don't want to talk about the White Sox, Glenn. It hurts too much.
it will be an interesting postseason, that's for sure. So
Definitely be interesting to watch. Glenn Pniewski works for the Village. He's one of the great people that keep this place going each and every week, each and every month, each and every year. He's behind a lot of the things that you enjoy as a resident here in Evergreen Park. And don't forget about FantiSciFest now coming up this weekend. It is a Saturday event over at the
Senior Center,
and it kicks off at
11 a.m.
It's like I didn't listen to you at the beginning of the interview. I have to ask you again. I'm sorry.
Well,
It's loud here.
You're testing.
It's loud. There's a lot of people around. It's loud. Glenn, thanks so much, my friend.
Thank you, buddy.
Another show is wrapped up. Another show's in the books. Another show is wrapped up. And then by the looks, it's going to be a good one. And we'll see you next week. And the nude is basement. And the nude is basement. Another show is wrapped up. Another show is wrapped up. Another show is wrapped up. And it's in the books. Another show is wrapped up. Another show is wrapped up. And by the looks, it's gonna be a good one. Nude is basement. Broadcast basement. The nude is basement. The broad basement. Slancha.
The EP Podcast. Heard everywhere podcasts can be found. And always at the eppodcast.com.